Hi, in this short video, I'm going to give you some pointers as to how you can measure a building in order to arrive at a reasonably accurate figure for scaffolding costs. We need to bear in mind that when we are putting together scaffolding costs, we are arriving at a figure for indemnity purposes. Scaffolding is a specialist area, and particularly if we are scaffolding over something, having to use a bridge or similar, that any figure we arrive at is going to be inaccurate and a best guess. So we're going to do something fairly straightforward. What we're going to initially do is we're going to replace this section of roof across there. So we're going to put the scaffolding up so it goes up this elevation and down the side elevation to this point here. This will provide some full protection when operatives are working down this section of the roof. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to measure the width. Let's say this is 6. The scaffolding will protrude outwards by 0.5. So the width will be 6.5. We then need to measure the height. So we will measure the height, and that's up to this point there. So let's say that is 5. We need to take into account that there will be a double safety rail. This should be 1 metre above the working platform. So if the working platform runs along there, then from there to there, as we said, is 5. The working platform is 1 metre. That means that the height of the scaffolding will be 6 metres. So the calculation for this elevation here will be 6.5 times 6. We then need to add on scaffolding for the side elevation. So in this case, we will measure from there to there. So let's say that is 2. We again will add on the 0.5, so that will become 2.5, and then we will then multiply that by the height, which we've already said was 6.5 to that point, and an extra metre for the safety rail. You will also need to consider any other things you wish to add, such as a chute, hoist. This is on a public highway, so you might want to consider some kind of lighting, Harris fencing, brick guards, etc. We're now going to look at how we approach repairs to a chimney. So we're going to do some work on this chimney here. In this case, we are going to put the scaffolding across here. The scaffolding will then go across here, and then we'll go up to this point here. So we will use our general scaffolding rate to scaffold out across there, up to that point there. It will again be a simple width measurement. We don't need to extend it out that way. We're not going round the corner, so it'll just be the straight width measurement there times the height measurement there. We will multiply that by the scaffolding rate. Separately, we would need to add in the chimney scaffold. Now the chimney scaffold allows for a saddle to go from the scaffold to the chimney, and then separately scaffolding around the chimney. In this case, there is no requirement for a saddle, so the chimney scaffold will simply be for the scaffolding that runs around the chimney. But if we were to turn the model around, for example, and if we were to do some work on this particular chimney, you can see the chimney pot is somewhat leaning, then we would construct our scaffolding across the front. So we use your normal scaffolding rate to that height there, and then the chimney scaffold would cover the saddle, which would run across to that point there, and then the scaffolding that would run around the chimney itself. As we're looking at this front elevation, if we wanted to scaffold around, say, 3 sides of the property, so across the front and down the side and down the side, then the width measurement that we would use would be the width of the property plus 0.5 plus 0.5. The height would be, as we've said before, 5 metres to there plus 1 metre, so it would be 6 metres. So if the width of this property here was, say, 10, we would add 0.5 and 0.5, which is 1, so it will be 11 times the height, which you've already established would be 6 square metres. Thank you very much for listening.